I'm about ready to start.
All right.
It's messed up over there?
Oh, I'm starting. It's starting.
Tell me when it has you pressing OK.
You already did.
You pressed OK?
Yeah, I already pressed OK. It's already done.
Shalom, people. Just give me a second here. All right. Make sure we get on Facebook Live in 1. Shalom, shalom, brothers and sisters. Welcome once again as I'm streaming live on the D.C.B channel and the Uzziel Lewi channel. My name is Uzziel Lewi. I'm one of the teachers of Congregation Bay D.C.B. Happy to see y'all joining us tonight. Shalom, Amos Lewi, Arnold Harris, Shani, Derain, and everyone that's joining us. I thank you for joining us tonight on this stream. Can I be heard clearly on Facebook? Give me a thumbs up if I could be heard clearly on Facebook. Give me the thumbs up, the likes, and thanking the Most High God for this holy Shabbat day. Thanking the Creator for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Thanking the Creator for all of our brothers and sisters joining us on YouTube, on Facebook Live. Like I said, Michael Ben Israel, Tavel Lewi, Letitia, Loves to Cuddle Stewart, and everybody who's joining us. Happy to see that all of y'all are joining us tonight. Everybody on YouTube, thank you for joining us. Shabbat Shalom to everyone. Thanking the Creator of heaven and earth for life. Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding once again. Let me just see. Tamika Yevra, Shabbat Shalom. Chana Lewi, Shabbat Shalom. Maya Bless, Shabbat Shalom. Shalal Lewi, Shabbat Shalom. Ashriel Levi, Shabbat Shalom. Lily Zion Yisrael, Shabbat Shalom. Beautiful Forever, Shabbat Shalom. Misharet Irania, Cohen Levi, Shabbat Shalom. Shavania Bat Yisrael, Shabbat Shalom. Moradina Yisrael, Shabbat Shalom. Malak Shaddai, Shabbat Shalom. Leslie Clark, Shabbat Shalom. Naazira Yisrael, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom to all of you. Thanking the Creator for all of your lives. I'm hoping that the stream is good. Showing over here that is a bad stream. I'm not sure how bad it is, but hopefully everything is good. Everything is flowing. I'm thanking the Creator for life. I'm thanking the Creator for the life of all of you, Kobe Yisrael. I'm thanking the Creator for everything that He gives us. I'm just grateful for life. You know, we had a great Shabbat meal, so I'm grateful to the Creator for that. Also, I'm grateful to the Creator just for life, for all the things that He provides for us, for everything that He gives us. We got to be grateful to this great King. We can't take it for granted. We can't take the life of our children for granted. We can't take the life of our loved ones for granted. We can't think from day to day that we're just going to receive blessings and that nothing will happen to us. We got to be thankful to this great King. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we all seen what happened down in think it was Parkland, Florida, this past week. Tragic events, but it's never easy for parents to come home or to get a phone call to know that their children are no longer here. or anything that's happened to their children, anything of that magnitude. It seems kind of selfish, where you're happy because it wasn't your child, but that's the way that anybody will naturally feel. I'm glad it wasn't my child. You don't want it to happen to anyone else, but we all are selfish in that kind of way. So it makes us really consider life. We cannot think that the things that happen won't affect us. Like, we know that we serve the Creator and that the Most High God does have a protection for His servants, but time and chance can happen to any one of us. Could have been any one of our children that was in that schools, and it's sad, but it makes you think about the policies that this place has in order, all of the things. It says our inventions will become our destruction. Think that there's there's a part in the Tanakh that speaks about our inventions becoming our destruction. So the things we invent are the things that affect us the most negatively. And this is what's happening, because a lot of these people don't have enough common sense to understand that in a society as this, you don't need a rifle that could shoot, a semi-automatic rifle that could shoot that many bullets at one time. Because if you get a sick person, a crazy person, that these are the things that will happen. And these are the things that will come about exactly because of your policies. So heart goes out to all the people out there who took losses when it comes to situations like this. It's someone's child, so but there's so much that you could say. But praying, we know that the Most High gives, we know that the Most High takes away. Blessed be His high and holy name, and that's all that we could say. That's all that we could say. That's all we could do. Give glory to the Creator for everything that He continues to do for us. That's all we could do. We can't do nothing more, nothing less, but just keep our prayers for the people and those who were affected by this whole tragedy that transpired this past when was it, Tuesday? Forgot what day it was, Tuesday or Wednesday, one of those days. So my prayers go out to the people, and that's all we could do. We could just keep our prayers up and hope that the Most High God would have those people have a speedy recovery, because it's a tragedy. It's a tragedy. Whoever, see, when it comes to stuff like this, I don't play certain games. You know what I mean? Because life is life, and you have to consider that the Most High God has set His judgment. So when God set His judgment, it's for us to really pay attention to what the Most High God is trying to tell us, because He gives and He takes away. Blessed be His name. But it should make us consider. It says better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of mirth. Now you got all these children. They said over 3,000 children in this particular school. They all have to consider. They all have to carry this burden with them for the rest of their lives. When you hear certain stories about, my friend right behind me got shot and killed, and not just made it out of the way of the bullets. That makes you think, and it makes you analyze your life and all the things that you're doing. That's what that whole thing is about. So hopefully we'll get some people reconsidering their lives, and even young teenagers as they trying to sort it out. Sometimes you gotta consider, and it's for our youth, our children who going to school. It's for our youth and our children to make them understand that hey, you know, you have to be careful, and you always have to walk with the Most High God. So those are the things that we have to think about. Shalom, shalom. Hello from Canada. So just a couple of things, you know. It was give me a second here. It was a bit of a, how would you say, just give me 1 second here. Trying to find something on my channel, making sure that everything is straight on the channel. Let me see here. My son is telling me that the video on YouTube is not that great, so I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. No, I got a lot of stuff going on out here. My son told me the video is trash. I don't know why he's saying the video is trash. It looks perfect on my phone. If the video looks bad on YouTube or on Facebook, please let me know. Because my son said that the video is trash. That's what he said. He said it's trash. Just want to make sure everything is straight before we really get going. So like I said, condolences to all of the people out there, the parents, the people out there who were suffering. So hoping and praying that the Creator be with all those people out there. You know, it's not easy for. It's just not easy, you know. It's not easy for people. Like I said, you know, it's until you've gone through some stuff like that, you know, you have to be careful on how you just think about people, you know, and the things that people the things that people go through. We just have to be very careful and understand that Yah is in control of all things. And once we understand that Yah is in control of all things, how fortunate we are. This is not a black or white thing at this point, because it's God's judgment, and God judges everybody. You know, there is one God, right? And we're going to get a little bit into that a little bit later, because I want to make some points so that our people won't be confused, right? I know we had a discussion here last week with very, very intelligent young brother by the name of Divine Prospect, and another one of our scholars, Chief Uzziel Lewi, aka Zion Lex, and they were here discussing the whole henotheism and polytheism and monotheism, and some discussions happened, and the brother was speaking about I just said, all right, I'm not going to have a back and forth tonight about whether the Most High. I just said, and if you heard what I said the Most High, he said he gives, he said, and he takes away. Blessed be his name. So that's implied in what I said. Maybe I didn't say it clear enough. Maybe I'm not crazy enough to go off and start talking about, you know, or maybe you feel like I should be like the white man is the devil. I don't understand. I said God gives and he takes away, Blessed be his name. Everything is in the control of his power. I said he reigns on the righteous as well as the wicked. All those things I said. But I could still send condolences out to those people who lost people. You see, this is the thing with sometimes with Israel, right? Sometimes we see things from one lens, right? And the Most High God didn't allow us to be cruel and cold-hearted. Not when it comes to certain situations. It says, even if you look at someone as your enemy, the Most High said, don't rejoice over the death of your enemy. That's what God said. That's what's written. Don't rejoice over the death of your enemy. So I don't do backflips and stuff when things happen to people. What happens is I tend to consider more. I tend to look at my surroundings and think about the things that God is trying to tell me. That's what times like this should make you do. Make you consider. Make you consider. Don't rejoice over people dying like that. Nah, I consider. And I give glory to the Creator. That's what I do. That's what I do. So, regardless of how y'all feel, and you got some people out here that's going crazy and saying all types of stuff, you're not going to catch me saying that. I'm going to give glory to God. I'm going to acknowledge where things come from, and I'm going to be sympathetic to people that lost children, regardless of what their race is, because I know that that's the conversation that a lot of you want to have. Oh, they were Caucasian. So what? So somebody is not supposed to grieve for their children? Someone is not supposed to feel the way that they lost their children? I don't care what color that they are. You know? That was a tragedy. Everything is controlled by the Most High, but that was a tragedy. Y'all got to do better than this, man. So I'm not going to be jumping up and down and doing backflips. I'm going to consider and let the Most High God, hope that the Most High God will heal those people, because they're going to have a scar for the rest of their lives. You see, some of you taught, but until you lose a child, you see, I don't know how that feels. But until you lose, speak to anyone who has lost a child. Speak to any person who's lost a child. And I will tell you this, that they wouldn't care what color, what race, what creed, that they will feel that sympathy for that person, because no one wants to lose a child. Now put it in the context of that and forget color, because that's what some of y'all are looking at it through that lens, through the color lens. Oh, it wasn't none of us. What does that mean? It's children. What does that mean? Come on. I don't hate nobody. I only hate those that hate me. If you hate me, I hate you. And this is the thing. You know what I'm saying? This is the thing with Israelites, right? And I'm going to talk about this a little bit. You got Israelites that talk about Jewish people. They talk about everybody on the planet, right? But yet you don't own nothing. When you go food shopping, you go to the Jewish people. The Jewish people actually feed your family. You might buy it, but if the Jewish people didn't have a market, you wouldn't go there and buy their cold cuts. You wouldn't have no place to go buy your meats for Shabbat. And they talk about the Jewish man like the Jewish man is the enemy. But if that's your enemy, how come you letting the enemy feed you? Come on. Y'all got to do better than that, man. Y'all got to grow up. You know what I mean? You got to grow up. Grow up. And thank God that we still here, because he could have judged us just as well. Thank God that we here and that our children are still here. But go ask one of those parents that has lost their child and see how they feel, if they sympathize. Proverbs 24:17 reads, Rejoice not when thine enemy falleth, and let not thy heart be glad when he stumbleth, lest Jehovah see it, and it displease him, and he turn away his wrath from him. You hear that? He turned away his wrath from him and turn it to you, because that's not what we're supposed to be doing. So even if you consider those people your enemy and you're rejoicing over it, the wisest man that ever lived, Solomon said, rejoice not when thy enemy falleth, even if you consider them your enemy. Now, it says that, and let not thy heart be glad when he stumbleth, lest Jehovah see it, and it displease him, and he turn away his wrath from him. That's what it says. It says right here, being full, or yivka, al tismak, ubikash lo, al yagel li libeka, says, pen yir'e Yahovah wera be'enayo, weheshiv me alayo afo, or apo. Rejoice not when thy enemy falleth, and let not thy heart be glad when he stumbleth, lest Jehovah see it, and it displease him, and he turn away his wrath from him. So let that one marinate in your brains for a little bit. All right? Stop rejoicing. And it still said, rejoice not at the death of your enemy. You know why you don't rejoice? Because those are all the Most High's children. Those are all God's children. He created mankind. He created everybody. He created, we are in captivity, right? We are in captivity for the sins that our forefathers committed. That's the part we don't like talking about. That we got spewed out of the land. So we're here, the Most High sent those people that had no respect for the old or the young, for us, because we had no respect for God. So he spewed us out of the land and he scattered us to the four corners of the earth. God did that. Let that one marinate. Let that one marinate. Come on, y'all got to do better than this. Y'all got to do better than this. Y'all gotta think a little bit more. Be a little bit more thoughtful. For those of you that just go off on a tangent, be a little bit more thoughtful. This is a time of consideration, not a time to be jumping up and down and be hooping and hollering and acting like everything is fine and like you got this great victory. And then at the around the corner, on the other hand, we killing off each other. But we got time to be hating somebody else when we don't got no love for our own selves. Think about that. Let that one marinate. We pick up a gun and kill each other just as easy every day. I don't like that nigga. So you pick up a gun and you shoot your brother, you shoot your sister, you shoot innocent bystanders. That's what our people is doing. And we doing backflips over somebody that went into a school and massacred innocent children. Are you crazy? Are we crazy? Did we lose our minds? Did we really lose our minds? There you go, Moradina. The world is in turmoil because of our sins. Because if we had done what we were supposed to do from early, we would have set the world all right. And we would have set everything according to the way that the Most High God wanted it to be. But we didn't do that. We did what we wanted to do. That's right. We did what we wanted to do. So therefore, the Most High God had to punish us for what we did. Yeah, stop blaming other people for our. Stop blaming other people for the wrongs that we did. Stop doing that. We did the wrong. Live up to the wrong. That's just how it is. Give glory to the Creator. Hallelujah. I give glory to this great King, the Most High King, Creator of heaven and earth. I know I went off on a tangent, but sometimes some things that people say kind of, it gets you there. But we always must give glory to this great King, because he's the one that's there for us, that does for us, that always provides for us, and that gives to us. So I thank this great Creator for my life, for food, clothing, and shelter, for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. There's a couple of things that happened in the news this week. Getting away from the other thing, there's a couple of things. So now, how many of you read the article in Vulture magazine with Quincy Jones, where he's speaking about all these people in the industry, and he spoke about a bunch of stuff, but the thing that I want to concentrate on the most is this. He spoke about the perverse or gay encounters that allegedly that Richard Pryor and Marvin Gaye and James Baldwin had with Marlon Brando. So now, according to Torah, it tells us that man should not lie down with mankind as with womankind. That is an abomination. Right? So now, come to find out, what I heard is that Richard Pryor confirms that this is what they used to do back in them days. That a lot of these people were bisexual. But according to Torah tells us that man should not lie down with mankind as with womankind. It is an abomination. So now, after you heard what you heard about Marvin Gaye and Richard Pryor, no, first I'm going to say this, because Torah says you need 2 witnesses to establish a matter, right? So we got to start with that. But so, assuming that this stuff is true, because we have to go by Torah. Those men are not here allowed to defend themselves, but you got one of the men's ex-wives that said that, you know, that her ex-husband was bisexual. So, and we know what Torah says about that type of behavior. So after you hear all this, and let's say this stuff is true, how do you feel about these, what we would have known as maybe the greatest comedian, period, not black or white, just one of the greatest comedians ever, Richard Pryor, Marvin Gaye, perhaps one of the greatest R&B singers of the past century, and James Baldwin, one of the greatest, perhaps one of the great minds of the 20th century. What is your thought about them after you hear this about them, and let's say that this is true? Does it forfeit their work? Do you feel like you could no longer support their work as an Israelite, knowing Torah and knowing that, and perhaps knowing that this stuff was true? Give me a call, 347-622-9090. Give me a call and let me know what you think about it. 347-622-9090. Just let me know. Anybody. I just want to know what's y'all opinion. See what y'all got to say. Because it's you know, it would, me knowing Torah and understanding Torah and stuff like that, it does give me a different perspective. I can't say that as a man that strive to live a certain way in a certain lifestyle, that when I hear something like that, that it doesn't affect how you think about a person and what they put in. Does it diminish their great work if you're looking at it through the lens of Torah? Does it diminish what they've done, their contributions to culture? Do you stop listening to Marvin Gaye? Do you stop looking at Richard Pryor comedy videos? I know Richard Pryor is pretty vulgar, but we can't, I mean, a lot of us can't lie to ourselves and say we haven't watched a Richard Pryor video, or we haven't enjoyed watching it. I know it's crazy, but we live in this society. So does it diminish through the lens of Torah to you? Does it diminish, I guess what we would say was is their greatness? And will we be on some boycott stuff? Or will we be on like, all right, I'm going to separate art from personal life, and I'm just going to, you know, remember them for what I remember them, as artists, as entertainers, such and such and such and such. I guess y'all don't want to talk about this. Y'all don't want to talk about this, but you know, you got to have a little conversation about matters like that. You know, just let me know. Let me know if y'all want to talk about it. Let me know. Just let me know. Let me know, y'all. See, y'all don't want to touch that subject. Y'all ain't giving up your Richard Pryor and Marvin Gaye. I know y'all. I know y'all. Let me see here. But like I said, allegations is one man's word. Quincy Jones. They're not here. And the Most High does say you need two witnesses to establish a matter. So we can't go on one man's word. So, but I'm just giving a hypothetical. If this was true, if we could say that this was true and we could confirm it, how would you feel about it? 347-622-9090. 347-622-9090. Give me a call. Chime in on the conversation. Let's hear what you got to say. 347-622-9090. 347-622-9090. Please let me know what's going on. All right, so I'm gonna give y'all some time. I guess if y'all not gonna call in, nobody wants to talk about it. I get it. Yeah, there were always allegations about James Baldwin when I think he came out later in his life as being gay. Okay. Some people said don't diminish anything for them. Some people say I'm breaking up. 347-622-9090. 347-622-9090. I hope that the stream is not going bad. 347-622-9090. All right, here we go. Troy, New York. Shalom, shalom. You're on live with Uzziel Lewi on the D.C.B channel.
Shalom?
Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, what's going on?
Shabbat shalom. What's going on?
It's going, Uzziel, man.
Hey, what's up? What's up? What's going on, my brother?
I'm good, man. I don't know if I'm watching you while you still live or.
Yeah, I'm still live. They can hear you.
It's a little delay. All right.
Yeah. So what you do is mute your computer, because then you're gonna be confused.
I got you.
All right.
Yeah, I'm calling, man. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
I was listening to you, sitting down with the babies, and
Right.
my children.
Right.
And we were listening to you.
Right.
I don't normally do this, but so my son and I were discussing the position about if it makes sense to stop listening or supporting what these particular people brought to the table. I agree first with you with saying that we don't necessarily know if this is true or not.
Right.
Coming from somebody who has a lot of allegations about being gay himself.
Right. The whole Tupac incident.
Tupac incident and a whole bunch of other things.
Right.
Kevin Campbell incidents and
right.
all them other incidents.
Right.
that they speak about. So
right.
One thing we do know is that this industry got a lot of these particular situations going on.
Right.
And so who do you know? Who should you support?
Right.
If that's the case.
Right.
Who should you support? Like, we heard all kind of things from Eric Sherman to this one to that one. You know what I mean? Who you support? Who you not support?
Right.
If you know something for surety is the case, we still all listen to Luther Vandross. Everybody know he was gay the day is wrong.
You're right.
Like, did anybody ever see him?
Right. Right.
I mean, he kept it a secret. Nowadays, everybody real blatant to tell you what they doing now.
Right.
Now it's pretty well widely accepted.
Right.
But back in the days, it wasn't accepted like that. So probably was a lot of them doing all of these things.
Right.
That's the case. We got to start evaluating the things that we involve ourselves with in the first place.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like that's where the question should lie. Is, should we be involved with any of these things?
Right.
Should we be involved with the industry as a whole?
Right.
We don't know who we're listening to and what they actually doing behind closed doors.
Right. Right.
We don't know. You know what I mean? son just said. He said, you can say that about everybody. You don't know what they're doing, but one thing we know is people that profess to be righteous and people that profess to be doing and living a certain way, that's what you have to go off of. So now, for instance, you got the guy, what's the guy named, the white kid, Sam Smith?
Okay.
Boy can sing his behind off.
Right.
But he blatantly like, yeah, I'm gay.
Oh, wow.
What's the other kid? Frank Ocean.
Yeah, I heard about him.
But these dudes, but they make great music for the times that we live in.
Right.
Do you support it? That's the, you know what I'm saying? Because most of us right now, especially in the places where we live in this day and time, Yisrael, you know what I mean? We all support a lot of this music. Right. We gonna buy their albums. We gonna listen to them on this, you know, all the different engines and search this and that and the third. Music, you know, from iTunes to this to that and the third. We listen to all this stuff. Right. So we supporting it, whether we want to admit it or not. We supporting it. Right. But we got to come to a position and a point in our lives. Are we gonna keep supporting this, or are we gonna start supporting our own music? That's a great point, because we do have a lot of great music within our community nowadays, man. Right. We got a lot of music, you know what I mean? Right. So, you know, like it comes a time when, you know, we got to start evaluating ourselves. See, right. Like you was just talking about people going against, like hearing about these people who got massacred recently in Florida, and everybody's all happy about them dying, but then when you look at in our communities, the things that we support. Right. Right. You know what I mean? From the clothes that we wear, from the shoes that we wear, from the music we listen to, from the places that you find us in. Right. Right. Like who would we talk about anybody? Right. I get you. We gotta start evaluating ourselves and putting ourselves on the chopping block first. You know what I mean? And start evaluating and saying, man, are the things that I'm doing righteous in the eyesight of the Most High? Is it acceptable in His sight? Right. Right. We say, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable for Yah. Right. But look at the things that's coming out of our mouths. We sing a lot of this madness. We love Cardi B. You know what I mean? We love Nicki Minaj and all these different people. Right. We love Meek Mill and all. What they talking about? They ain't talking about nothing that we supposed to be about. Right. Or nothing that our lifestyle or our culture or our way of life supports. Right. Yeah, we be like, yo, but you know, we give an excuse where we from these same streets and they don't know. And this and that. You think they don't know? Why so many of them coming out talking about what they know now? Right. Yeah, they'll tell you what they know, but they'll still promote the same garbage because they get a paycheck to do it. Right. We support them. We don't get no check for it. We spending our money to support them. Right. Right. So we got to start evaluating ourselves before we start talking about what we not gonna support or who we gonna support, or we feel away now because we found out Richard Pryor. Let's be for real. Let's think about it seriously. We, you know, myself, you, we at an age where we remember some of these guys. We might have been coming in, you know, at the tail end of their greatness, their reign, right? You know, on top and whatever. But we remember. I remember Richard Pryor. I remember some of these comedians, some of these people, and Marvin Gaye, these different people. And if you really evaluate how they moved and the things that they were talking about and the way and the styles and how they were, you'll come up in your mind and be like, you know what, these dudes might be gay. Right. Or they might have been dibbling and dabbling. Right. Pay attention to Richard Pryor and how he moved and the things that how he used to talk and how he used to, you know, say carry himself. You'll be like, wait a minute, yo. You know, the like, things he used to say. We didn't care for, like, the things he used to say. The things he used to say. I mean, I can remember one specific thing that he said that I was like, whoa. But you kind of like, you let it go because you like, maybe he's just joking. But no man would say that. So, you know, you get away with that. Even nowadays, look at the comedians now. Right. they say some questionable stuff. You be like, yo, word? Did he just say that? Oh, but you know, maybe he making jokes about the gay people.
Right. Now I get you, brother. Thank you for calling in, my brother. You know, good to hear from you.
You as well, man. Most I be with you and bless you. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, and tell your son to keep making that great music, man. Hallelujah. Good to hear from you. Shalom, shalom. All right, all the other people start calling now. Whoever gets in first, I'll pick up their call first. I know Moradina was calling. Yosef from Baltimore was calling. Somebody from Louisiana was calling. There's a few people calling. So call in. I know you want to get your... Oh, there you go, brother Yosef. Shalom, shalom. How you doing, Aki?
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. How you doing? Mute your computer in the background so you don't get that feedback.
All right, sweet. I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's cool.
This Yosef from Baltimore.
Yeah, I know who you are. I got you on my phone. I got you on the phone.
Oh, King. First, I want to give our praises to the Most High Yah, of course.
Hallelujah.
And just saying Shabbat Shalom. First of all, I want to say Shabbat Shalom to you and your family.
Torah. Shabbat Shalom to you and yours.
That's listening, so Shabbat Shalom.
Hallelujah.
I like the brother that spoke before.
Right.
Uzziel,
right.
Because he was making some good points. And also, it don't take their lifestyle don't take away from, I guess, their talent. Because even the Torah talks about the Biyaminites.
Right.
About how good they was with their left hand. And
right.
How skillful they was.
Right.
But they still was in their lifestyle.
You
know, and as far as supporting the people, like how the brother said, support to me is actually buying their stuff, and you help supporting their movement.
Right.
You can like listen if you're looking at them on TV or doing such things. Me personally, I'm going with me personally. I won't ever support even music now. I won't never buy no type of music now, especially when they talk about committing adultery, because
right.
That's all the music that kids listen to now is having sex with somebody else's girl, and that's right. All you listen to. That's no difference from being gay. It's both against the laws of the Most High. So the answer or the question should be like. If we stop supporting them, we should stop supporting everything that has to do with Hollywood. Because for some of us that know how the elite gets down, especially in Hollywood, we know they all got to go through a rites of passage to be on that level. And those rites of passage is doing homosexual acts and doing stuff in that area.
You know what's funny? When I heard this story, because I'm not a conspiracy theorist. If anybody knows me, when people be bringing that stuff up to me, I'll be like, yo, get out of here, man. Even from back in the days, like, I used to go at it with Chief Nathaniel Ben Lewi. I used to, because he's a deep conspiracy. He deep into his conspiracy theories. And I used to be like, Chief, I'm not trying to hear all that. I used to be like, I'm not, but now it made me think of him. I was like, yo, hold on. That's Richard Pryor. That's Marvin Gaye. You know what I mean? Like, they wasn't messing around with James, you know what I mean? With Marlon, you know, so it made me think of that. But I want to bring it back to, like, Torah, because I'm like, and even when we look at it from Torah, from the perspective, we got to have two witnesses. So we just can't take one man's word, because they're not alive. He's saying it, but they're not here to defend themselves. But it makes you think of all those things that you've heard, you know what I'm saying, as far as people doing certain things in order to get certain positions or to open up certain doors for them. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, for example, with the actor Terry Crews, where he said one of them big executives grabbed him in his private part while he was in a party with his wife. And I'm like, what kind of stuff is that? Terry Crews is like 260, rock solid. Like, you let him get away with that? So it's like, you see like the society and where it's going to. So that's why Torah is so important, because Torah helps us to balance out and to put things in the right perspective. That's what I believe. Because sometimes we could get caught up with society, but like brother Azrael said prior, he said we need to start supporting our own stuff. We need to start doing our own stuff so we don't have to depend so much on them in order for them to give us entertainment, because they all mixed into all types of weird stuff. But go ahead, brother.
You absolutely right, because Torah wise, it says like we can't do none of these acts.
Right.
You know, it told us we shall not follow the acts of other nations.
Right.
So we had to separate ourselves, but of course some things is kind of hard, especially because we are in captivity. We are under somebody else's rule.
Right. Right.
So we still gotta move swift with this, but at the same time, we still have to separate ourselves. But that's going to come with discipline.
Right.
You know, all that stuff going to come with discipline, especially if you have little children, and they spend more time outside sometimes than under our care.
Right.
So it's really discipline, but you know, I'm gonna have to say to each his own about listening to the people supporting them. But me personally, I can't support.
Right.
You know,
right.
actually support things like that. But it don't take away their talent. That's what also you got. It don't take away nothing they do.
Right.
You know, because that's a skill that God blessed them with. But it chose a wicked lifestyle. So with that, I'm going to say Ladato and enjoy Shabbat service.
Ladato. Shalom, my brother. Shalom, Moradina.
Shalom, my Shalom Khan.
Ani told. How are you?
Okay. I'm good, Torah Yehovah.
Hallelujah.
Well, you know, I really don't have an excuse because I was born into law.
Right.
But we are really going against the Most High's commandments. And what's that is always said for our children.
Right.
Marvin Gaye, let's get it on.
Right.
You understand? And so if we support this music, support their comedy, as you said, Richard Pryor with the vulgarity, that's against Torah.
Mm-hmm.
The Most High even said in Zephaniah about wearing their attire.
Mm-hmm.
So when we going around in Nicki Minaj and the nails and the makeup, all of that's against Torah. So if we stop supporting them and do as the Most High says, then we are setting an example for our children. If you can't curse in front of me, you can't listen to that music. You cannot support these people because they are going against the Most High.
Okay.
Point blank period.
Okay.
So, you know, like the Torah says, ignorance of the law is no excuse. But once you find out, you're even more. It's more of a responsibility for you to stop it. And so we're telling our children, well, listen, it's this day and time, so, you know, times have changed. But Torah has not changed. But Torah has never changed.
Okay.
And so by us listening to this music, supporting, like you said, I know you'll go listen to your Richard Pryor. He was completely vulgar. Was Marvin Gaye gay? We don't know. But why take the chance with the Most High? And if you decide you're going to listen to it, why do it in front of your children? Why help them break the law that you're breaking? And like I said, I love Marvin Gaye's music. I loved a lot of it. But if it's against the Most High, I got to love the Most High a whole lot more than I love Marvin Gaye. So we have to set standards for ourselves, for our benefit, and for the sake of our children. Because if it's for in this day and time, for us, what is it going to be for the children? We become lax in our understanding. We become acceptable to this lifestyle, to what people call prejudices. They're prejudices against the Most High, not against man. Once we turn against the Most High, who cares? You know, man can't do anything for us.
Right.
We turn around, we spend our money that who gave us? The Most High. So he takes it away.
Right.
And at the same time, he takes away our sensibility to teach our children to follow in his footsteps. You couldn't curse in front of your mother, so why buy gay music in front of the Most High? And when in doubt, as Abba used to say, when in doubt, leave it out. You can't go wrong. He used to say, opt for God. You opt for God, you're good. But
just a question: do you think that his music was I know his all this stuff coming up and his name being gay. It kind of is, you know, it's like almost a pun in it. But do you think that his music? Do you think that his music was gay? Because he made music with like Tammy Terrelli. He made like love songs
and music
towards women, right?
Right.
You know, at least as I looked at it. So is the music gay? I don't think the music was gay, but you're talking about just not supporting him, period, because of his lifestyle. That's what you're saying.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Because now I'm not gonna tell my age, but I know Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell, beautiful music. I loved it.
Right.
But now look at this. We're talking decades down the road. We're finding out something.
Right.
Okay. So and then, like you said, we need the mouth of two witnesses.
Right.
Now, on the flip side of this, were they forced into this? You understand?
Right.
You know how they say, like, you know, like, what do they call it, the casting couch or whatever?
Yeah, the casting couch.
Okay, so, I mean, there's just certain things that I guess you could say I'm indecisive about. Because, like, his love music with Tammy Terrell, that was something different.
Right.
But when I started thinking about the words of Let's Get It On, I said, oh, I like that song. And then I started thinking about the words. I said, oh, man, what did he get it on with?
Yeah, I hear you.
You understand?
I hear you, Maura. So you're on the point of, listen, man, they against the Yah's Torah. I'm just gonna cut them off completely. That's where you at.
Right, because I can't go wrong. If you opt for God, you can't go wrong. I'd rather offend man than offend the Most High.
Okay.
Can't get any simpler than that.
That's right. Okay, Maura.
Any simpler than that. Rest of this, Shabbat Shalom. It is hard to get to you. I was in with you for a couple of shops too because my stuff keeps going out.
Oh.
I can never get you on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
YouTube once in a while.
Okay.
Rest of this.
All right, Shalom, Maura.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Yeah, you got it. You know, you got difference of, you got opinions varying, but you know, Torah is Torah, and we look at it, and there are a lot of great points made. There was a lot of great points made from point A to point Z. But I would say this stuff is rampant in Hollywood, and we go see movies, we go to the movie theater, we do certain things. But this stuff is rampant. And I don't know. I really don't have an answer because and that's why I asked y'all to call in, because I feel like when we all speak on it, we could get a better understanding rather than just one person. Because I don't have all the answers. I mean, I do this show. I try the best of my ability to do certain things, but I don't have all the answers. Y'all know that. I ask y'all for help sometimes because of the stuff that's going on. You know what I'm saying? It's just like that. So it's tough. It's tough out here. It's really, really tough out here because these are the times that we live in. But do we adjust to times, or do we seek the ancient path and walk in it and stand strong? There's certain things that us as men and women, we're not supposed to accept. Sometimes we go to work and we have to work with people that are like this. You truly can't help that unless you leave your job and go find another job. But then when you go to another job, you're going to run into the same type of people. So there is a certain kind of way that we're supposed to be, and people will understand when you don't accept their lifestyles. I always say that. I've been in you know, situations where I've had people that were like managers and supervisors and departments, you know, that I had to work, and I understood what they were, but they understood, and not by saying too much, they understand, they get your vibe. They know, all right, this guy doesn't really agree with my lifestyle, but there's a respect, and we're going to keep it in a respectful level, because these are things we have to deal with today. So you're not going to go crazy, bug out. You start saying stuff and then you get fired. You can't, take care of your family and stuff like that. So there's a certain decorum and there's a certain way that we're supposed to be in order to do certain things. You know what I'm saying? So, for example, let's say you own a restaurant or a store or something like that. Here's another question. You own a restaurant or a store or something like that. All right? And somebody that's you could see is flamingly, gay, a man or a woman, come into your store. Are you going to serve them food? Are you going to refuse to serve them food? Are you going to sell them, whatever they came to buy, or are you going to deny it? Because there's depths to this, and Torah is Torah. This is why Torah is specific. Torah tells us how to deal with these type of individuals. But because we're living in a society where we cannot control that, then how do we deal with it? You get what I'm saying? How do we deal with them? Or how do we deal with that situation? Not with them, because there's really not much that you could do. This is the laws of the country. But we're governed by Torah and we understand Torah. So what will you do? So those are little questions that you got to ask yourself, and those are things that you have to keep in your mind and try to understand. It's sometimes it's difficult, but it's cool. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. It's like we figure it out. We figure it out. Let me see. Great question. But some of us have family members who go against the Most High in their lifestyles. Knowing and unknowingly, do we cut them off? And that's a great question, because now I've seen in Israel, and believe it or not, I've seen in Israel, you got people that have family like this, children, and I've seen both sides of the spectrum. I've seen some people just completely cut off, don't want anything to do, and then you see some people that try to work with their children and try to bring them back to the understanding, because they still love their children. And who am I to say what one person is doing is right or one person is doing is wrong, because it's not my child. So there's some parents, they feel, no, that's my child, and I'm going to try to bring them back to understanding of self. And you got some parents who are like, you're disowned. You understand what I'm saying? So there's a dichotomy, and there's a difference in how people deal with certain things. Conversation is great tonight. I like this kinds of conversations, because my thing is always, I like to bring current events with and mix it with the Torah to see how we look at things, because we living in a real world. Sometimes, when we go through the Sidra and stuff and that's necessary, because it makes us remember the laws of God, and we have to understand. But then we have to take, hey, Shabbat Shalom from the UK. Hoping that the Most High God be with you. Y'all at what? 2 o'clock in the morning over there? And you joining us? Thank you for joining us. I'm glad that you're joining us. You're up this late. So I like to take both and just and kind of mix it up and see what's going on, because we have to look at things that's happening today through the scope or through the lens of the Torah. We have to filter it through the Torah. And we have to figure out where we're going to land with it, because our children are going to be affected by it. We have to think about our children and what's going to happen in the future, and the things that's happening with them. And those are the things that are going to carry, them, whatever we set in them. We have to teach our children firmly about Yah in this way of life. We definitely have to teach them. So hopefully that y'all get that. Listen, I want to say this also. Don't forget to like the videos. Put right now, everybody on YouTube, just put the like button, the thumbs up button. Press the thumbs up button. Bavakushat. All right. Independence, LA. Let's see who's calling here. Shabbat Shalom.
Hey, Shalom.
Shalom.
Is this the number?
Who is this?
This is Uzziel Lewi.
All right. How you doing?
Hey, Shalom. I just wanted to like this whole situation. It's a culture thing in America. Whether they want to, this is the land of the Greeks, so they don't have to come out and say it because they're the dominant society, So they have like that. They just have this presence. So there's a presence you can feel over this place, Like I said, I can feel certain I don't know. The Most High just entuned me to feel certain things, pick up on certain things. I feel like certain energies, like even in the change of like day and night, you can feel certain energies. It's just like there's a certain spiritualness about this place, and it's mainly like it is a spiritual war. It is a spiritual warfare, and they're trying to like pretty much influence. They're trying to subtly influence everyone. That's why they come through movies and different type of music genres and all this stuff. They're trying to attack the people in a subtle way, but not, they don't want to just come out with it, so there'll be full on warfare against it, But I do notice it's like a haven, like the sisters, not all the sisters, of course, not all of them, but some of the sisters create like a little haven for them, for these homosexuals, where they just like, they befriend them, they befriend them, and they be in their little cliques and stuff, and it's just kind of like, as long as you cherish them and put them like, well, you're my man, but this is my best friend right here, this is my best buddy, then he'll, he can creep in and do certain things, he can put things in our ear, and he can mess up, certain family lifestyles and stuff like that, fooling around stuff. So it's just, they infiltrate and attack, and everything counts. Don't just, you can't just put these things to the side. Like, everything spiritually, the Most High, He's just been showing me that it's all connected. Everything's connected in one way or another, because it's one world. We all live in one world, and everything influences another thing. So it's just, I just say it's like until we take a stand, until we take a firm stand, like, kind of like the tribal minister did, like, what's his name, the Mighty Hebrew. He took a stand on like certain sorceries and certain things recently. He did stuff like that. It's a good thing that we just come out and just like make events like this to go against, like, just kind of like, I don't want to say we don't want to seem like we're just angry, but we want to seem, like we need to come with wisdom and understanding, and we need to bring the hard facts to really put it to rest, just to start put that, I say really put that whole argument to rest until we come against their whole philosophy and everything. It's the main thing with the society. People got too many philosophies. As long as they have all these philosophies in their heart, they're going to forever keep doing this stuff. We got to attack the philosophies and this psychology that they're working on us. Until we defeat that, it will never end, Until we defeat that. We got to take a spiritual stance. The Most High wants to see, like He said, who will stand up for me, who will fight for me. Until we take that stance, the Most High He not going to take back the children of Israel until we step up.
Okay. All right. Thank you, my brother.
All right. Yeah. Shalom.
Shalom. All right, Ima, call me back on the 347-622 number. When I'm not picking up, it's because someone else is talking, so I can't have two. So, Ima, the line is open now. Ima Havaret, please give me a call. So, we have to, the brother says it's a spiritual warfare. music is very spiritual. Music is something about music that puts you in a trance. That music is very. That's why the Song of Moses, the Most High, it was called the Song of Moses. He was ordered to be put in the song. All right, Texas. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. This is Brother Andre.
How you doing, Brother Andre?
I've been listening to your show.
Uh-huh.
Good, good. I have a comment. I've been listening to the show. Show is great. As far as the entertainment, you know, it's a hard pill to swallow, but we're gonna just have to give it up, you know. And this is, we don't know all the facts, but if this is true, we're gonna have to give it up. You know, it's almost like Lot and Solomon Gomorrah. You know, we have all these vices in this world, you know, and a lot of times we want to get to be that separated people, but yet we still want to hold on to our so-called culture. You know, we are a people that wasn't given nothing, but we made something out of it, and we are proud. And I think I am one of them people.
Right.
And you know, Richard Pryor, Marvin Gaye. I grew up on Smokey Robinson.
Right.
And you know, and these are like superheroes for us.
Right.
As a people. And you know, it's a hard pill to swallow, but we're trying to be that people. You know,
right.
We are striving to be righteous people, and we have to separate ourselves.
Right.
From it. But and another comment I would like to add is about the work environment with these people.
Right.
I'm a manager, and I have 2 of them under my department.
Right.
And I have to. They know where I stand, and you know, we have dress codes. I have to follow a strict. I can't deviate from nothing. They
right.
don't come in there. You know, one guy he 2 years ago I got rid of him.
Right.
Came in on Halloween with a dress on.
Right.
And you know, everybody thought that was funny. I didn't, and other people took offense, and he got himself removed.
Right.
So you know, it's my stuff personal.
Right.
If it's not affecting, if it's work, it's work. You know, I wear my ZZ and a yarmulke.
Right.
And it was funny. Wednesday, asked me to say, one of the ladies who worked for me, she came and she said, Andre, I'm going to get my ashes. You got your yarmulke and your string, I'm gonna get my ashes. And I said to the lady, he was like, okay, you know, okay, I'll talk to you later.
Right.
We'll pay you for you going out and doing your thing. And that's and our people, and I'm still learning, but in antiquity, our people, we did business, we conducted business, but we had our own community. And I think that's the issue right there, is that when we're in the work environment, we have to communicate with these elements. But at the same time, we don't invite them into our household.
Mm.
And as far as the children and the homosexual family members and things of that nature, we're going to have to stand on Torah. And again, this is a hard pill for a lot of us to swallow, because we're, as a whole, some of us are like Lot. You know, the Torah said that the angels had to push Lot on his way because he didn't really want to go. And the thing is, we're gonna have to move forward in this. We got to develop as a nation, a righteous nation. So, great conversation, excellent topic. The laws of the land, and a lot of people don't understand this, don't know that certain things employees cannot do. For instance, if you say, hey, I'm a Jew, I'm an Israelite, I keep the Shabbat from sunset to sunset, I can work on Sunday, but I can't work on this day, they have to let you off. And again, this is why we need community, because if you have a moray, rabbi, or a chief, they can write a letter and give it to your employees. You can get off on the feast days and on Shabbat. But at the same time, you can't walk around in your job eating pork chops and pizza. So I'm about to get off the phone. I love the show.
Hallelujah.
Shalom, everyone.
Thank you.
And shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom. Thank you, my brother. So there you have it. We have a bunch of different opinions, people coming from one end of the spectrum to the other. Let me call Ima, because I know she was trying to call in, and she usually have great points. I think this is like one of the shows with the most call-ins. I guess this was on everyone's mind. Sister Tish, Ima, people are beating you to the punch. Shabbat shalom, my sister.
Shabbat shalom. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you, my sister?
I'm good. I just wanted to chime in on the topic of tonight.
Well, go ahead. We're here listening.
Okay. Well, I kind of feel like, what the brother's saying that just called in. I feel the same way. We can't have it both ways. We have to, we have to live this lifestyle wherever we go, and that includes, befriending homosexuals as women. You have homosexuals that are friends, and you kind of accept that lifestyle, but at the end of the day, you don't have a husband, or your daughter may not have a husband. So we need to support, y'all's lifestyle no matter what. And I know it's hard because we're in Babylon, and I typed this into Shabbat class last week. I have, your grocery store clerk is gay, and, your neighbor is gay, and, it's just been revealed to me through the wisdom of the Most High that, yes, if somebody speaks, you can speak back. I remember I went to, a park, and my phone wasn't working, so I couldn't call a Lyft, and a gay person offered, for me to ride in his Lyft. And I got, and he was going to, like a bar or something like that, so I got to an establishment. I visited the Botanical Gardens here in Atlanta, so when he and another friend of his were going to a restaurant, he was with a lady friend, and I took the Lyft. Do I not take it and say no because you're gay? But once I got to where I was going, I offered him a beer, I bought him a beer, and then I went on about my business. I used that establishment's Wi-Fi, and I went home. So do I, make it an extended thing? Do I, converse or anything like that? No. You say, hi to your neighbor because you just never know, or your grocer, and I was sharing again in chat that I moved to a different neighborhood because the neighborhood that I lived in was so gay, but, and that's Midtown Atlanta, but that's just the way that it is. That's the society that we live in, but we shouldn't support that just in our everyday, interactions, going to parties, things like that, or saying, I have a husband and then this is my gay friend. Absolutely not. I don't think that.
Okay. Thank you, my sister.
All right. Thank you.
Shalom. Shalom. You're on with the D.C.B channel.
This is Augustus
Kane, how you doing?
How you doing, Brother Augustus?
Living large, living. Just living.
All right.
Just living, stay blessed. And I'm on my late talk. I was called because I have a question. Is the Passover, that's on March 30th, the Passover?
Passover will be held on this year will be March 3rd. It'll be on a Shabbat, the first day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Whatever the day that is. I gave the dates out on the video that I did. So it's gonna be the first day, it's gonna be on a Shabbat. Friday night to Saturday night.
Okay.
Whatever date that is. Hold on for a second. Let me give you the date right now. So, Ema, give me a second, Ema. I'm going to pick up for you in a second. Everybody's beating you to the punch today.
Okay.
Give me a second here, my brother.
Are you like texting me to me?
Nah, I'm just going to tell you right now.
Okay, that's fine.
So Pesach is going to be on the Saturday, the 31st. It will begin from that Friday, right? From the Friday, the 30th at sundown to Saturday, the 31st. That's the first day, Pesach.
Okay.
Or Passover or Feast of Unleavened Bread, all right?
All right.
All right, just search for my video with all the dates on it.
Okay.
It says Holy Days 2018.
Okay, I got you.
All right, my brother.
So I'm going to get off. I want to get off and let me call and get on.
All right.
So peace.
Shalom. Calling about holy days. It's okay. I take those calls too. All right, let's call Ema back because Ema got to be frustrated right now. She usually be the first one to call in. Everybody beat her to the punch tonight because she was slow on the dial. So I'm going to give her a courtesy call right now. She was slow on the dial tonight. Shabbat Shalom, you was slow on the dial tonight. That's why everybody beat you to call in.
No, it's a delay. It's been a delay on the phone. I don't know what it was, but hey, it's okay. Praise the Most High Yah.
Hallelujah. What's up, Ema?
Give somebody else a chance to say something. Everybody had some really good points anyway, so I didn't feel bad.
All right. Yeah, you have points varying from one extreme to the other, and I think it's all important. I think it's a valid question and a conversation because we are living in this society, whether or not what we should accept, what we shouldn't accept. And, I just want to hear everybody's points because I don't have the answers. I don't have the answers, all the answers, and we living in this world. So what you have for us, Ema?
Well, I've struggled with this myself as an Israelite. You have family members, as some people brought up, or you might know people that before you came into the walk, and then now you're clear and you're open, and the Father's got you on the path, and you don't know exactly what to do.
Right.
You have TV coming at you. The media is a real monster.
Right.
And it has a lot to do. I say 50% of all our ills is coming out of that box.
Right.
And the rest of it, all of the things, other things that we're consuming.
Right.
For me, my path is to eliminate this stuff out of my life. If I'm saying I'm an Israelite, for me, I feel like I'm faking it, So it's hard. It's not easy for me. I'm not gonna tell you it's easy, but this is not an easy path. This is the lottery. You got this, but this is lottery you got to earn. So the way I look at it, when we first came out, we came out unconditionally. The Father was trying to prove himself to us. This time, we got to prove ourselves to him. And if we say we are holy people and we righteous people, there's a whole lot of stuff we shouldn't even want to be bothered with. And I know I pay $180 just to watch 4 channels on my TV. Now, that does include my internet, and it includes a phone.
Mm-hmm.
But $180 just to get 4 channels. And that is HGTV, and y'all might be laughing right now, because, you know, but that's okay, laugh on. PBS.
Right.
I try to watch,
educational shows.
You know, I even watch a Hallmark channel, you know, because they promote marriage.
Right.
Black man and woman marriage. So I watch that, and they don't have a whole lot of JC stuff talk. So I watch that, and my husband likes the sports.
Right.
But in order to get those channels, I got to spend $180. But everything else on the TV is filthy, and I mean filthy. You're talking about whoredom, adultery,
right,
murder.
Right.
I mean, all kinds of forms of murder. Zombies, demons, witches. I mean, they got it all for you. Anything that you want.
Right.
It's up to us to make this decision, because the Father's weeding out.
Right.
I'm telling you right now, he's weeding out. I don't know where I stand. As far as I'm concerned, I need to keep trying real, real hard, because, you know, I don't want to.
And that's real. And that's real. And that's real. And that's real. It's like I said before, you have family, you got people that you knew as friends, that you were really close friends with, and it becomes a dilemma. But like you said, there's also a struggle to where now you have to start to choose the Most High, you know, and the more and more you choose Yah, the more and more you see that this person lifestyle doesn't coincide with mine. But now it's different when you have children. You know, sometimes you find out your mother, your father are this after, you know, so many years. Like, what do you do at this point? Like, damn, my father's gay.
What did he tell Abraham?
Yeah.
What did he tell Abraham? He said, leave this place.
Right.
He ain't say, hey, be worrying about your daddy who's messing around over there with the king and they doing that weird stuff and got 10,000 items up in there. He said, leave this place.
Right.
And eventually, we're going to have to do this. It's not like it's not going to happen. We have to do this.
Right.
I have family that's into a little bit of everything. You know, I got some really, really wonderful family members, but they don't know Yah. I got some family members that they into homosexual stuff. I don't have nothing to do with them. I've already talked with them. I've showed them in the Torah and whatever, and I don't even know if you can get away from a lust in your spirit. I don't know if you can do that or not, but I mean, anything is possible.
Mm-hmm.
But people, I know people that, you know, I'm from Chicago. I know people that grinding, you know, real hard. For those who don't know, they slinging and doing anything else that they can do. I don't hang out with them.
Right.
I tell them, hey, look, don't come to me with all that stuff. I love you, yeah. Is it a serious situation? The kids need something. Y'all got enough money to get. Can you eat? Okay. But don't involve me in any of that stuff, because I'm not going to do it.
Right.
And, you know, they know that they can come to me when they need me for something real.
Right.
Well, other than that, I'm not participating in any of it. It's a hard road, but somebody's got to be an example.
Right.
You know, I want to be with Israel. I want to be with other Israelites. That's all I think about. I want to be with my people that know the Creator, that's moving, trying to start businesses, trying to have schools for the children so our children don't get their minds totally in this system.
Right.
You know, because I can even see in some of the camps, you know, they struggling, you know, and we got to be concerned about their struggle. I think that's the first part of charity, is to take care of other Israelites. That's all. You know, I've always said that. You know, you can listen any tape.
Right.
Other Israelites first.
Right.
And then everything else.
Right.
So, but it is a hard struggle, and I mean, I understand the struggle. I know a sister that's got a mom who's homosexual. She couldn't walk away from that. So now she's not even practicing anymore because she's made all these concessions, and you constantly make this concession. So you know you're not really doing it, and you can't fake being Israelite. You just can't. You can try it,
right.
but it's going to show eventually. So
it always shows.
I wish it's all. I pray for strength for the whole house of Israel every day. I pray for strength because we need it. Look at all of this stuff coming at us.
Right. Right.
You know.
Right.
And
it's a constant struggle. Like I said, that's why I like topics like this because they're real. You know, sometimes we could talk about, like tomorrow we're gonna talk about the setting up of the tabernacle, but we're not really dealing with the tabernacle right now. We're dealing with people walking into schools and shooting children. We're dealing with what's going on with the lyrics. Like, for example, like many of you now, this is a little bit before my time, but I've heard the song, Me and Mrs. Jones, right? How many people grew up singing that song and know the lyrics to that song? But
before you understood what was going on,
you
can't go back. You can only move forward. And if you try to go back, all you can do is go back and say, Father, I repent this.
Right.
And be serious about it in your heart. That means don't go buy a new Mr. Jones record or Miss Jones record and throw it on and start blasting.
Right,
you can't do that.
Right.
Because you know that's from them. There's a song that I really like because I'm into jazz. I love jazz. And this song, I think, was by the Temptations. They did a rendition of it. And then Sister Stephanie Mills did a different rendition of it. And it's talking about getting together with somebody else's wife, And the one that the Temptations had, I cracked that up, threw that in the trash. And I listened to the Stephanie Mills version because it's 90% just music, and I can put my own lyrics to that.
Right.
So I've been singing about my husband. But I'm just saying, we have to reinvent ourselves for a life that we can enjoy. We do not have to be, 100% over in the corner,
right. I know what you're saying.
We can have fun. We can have enjoyment. But we need to bring our children together because there's strength in that. We need to bring each other together because there's strength in that.
Right.
And enjoy things the right way and dismiss all of these things. I mean, it takes time. It's not going to happen overnight, but we have to be working towards that.
Right.
One of the main things that has helped me in my struggles and in my walk as an Israelite is something that the Father Creator told Cain. He says, if you do well, will you not be accepted? And that has always stuck with me. And
if you don't, this is sin croucheth at the door.
There you go. There you go. And that, you have to be doing your best. You have to be moving forward, working towards something.
Right.
Helping each other out. Trying to build that bridge back, get that bond back together.
Right.
Quit being upset about little petty nothing stuff because that's not going to serve you at all. With this Israelites right here in the city, we should know each other. We should have something going on, something good going on. Some fundraising events, something going on.
Right.
I'm just throwing some stuff out there that we could be doing to enjoy ourselves and support each other.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. But, that's for me. I say get away from the programming because that's what they named it. When I was a little girl, anything came on the TV was called programming. And in the middle of the night, I think it's about 1 a.m., they had this little test come on. We are now the programming of such and such and such.
Yeah. And the color bars come up. The color bars come up.
Yep.
Or the national anthem or something like that used to come up, right?
Yeah, all of that. Yes, all of that. Depending on what channel you watch.
Right.
Yes. Programming. So
You know, Israel, we want to keep being programmed, or what we're going to do? We're going to run this thing? What we're going to do?
That's right. Torah, Ima.
Torah.
Hallelujah. Shalom, shalom.
Shabbat shalom, Israel.
Shabbat shalom. So there you have. Everybody's point was great. Everybody made great points tonight. It really helps me. It helps all of us. We could get to hear each other's perspectives because sometimes we're faced with these situations and don't know how to deal with it. You know, and people are facing these things on a daily basis. So I'm just so glad that everybody out there is you know, this topic actually took up the time that I was going to take to talk about the other stuff. I could leave that till next week and now have a lesson for next week. But like I said, I like to combine the current events with Torah, and that way we could discuss it. So I see that it sparked up a lot of great conversation. It's a great thing when we could spark up conversation and when we can have dialogue, because I think dialogue is important. I think sometimes that's what's missing in our community, that everybody is just in their own corner saying what they want to say, but we don't really spark that dialogue to be able to build, to be able to concentrate on certain things that's affecting us today. So I think this was a great bill. I thank you all for tuning in tonight. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Give me the like button on the stream. Don't forget to share also onto your net, into your different social medias. If you thought that this was a great show, just share it with someone and someone that might need it. And don't forget to give the thumbs up. It's a double stream, so it's on my Uzziel Lewi channel and it's on the D.C.B channel, so you can catch it on both. All right. Thanking the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob once again for being with us, for protecting us and guiding us. And I thank the Creator for all of your lives. May the Most High God continue to be with you and keep all of you. Ma'oziah. And may Yah bless you in all your endeavors. Shalom, shalom, Yisrael. May Yah be with you all. Shabbat shalom.
What the heck? Why isn't it?